We're live.
I'm
Hello.
gonna wear this bandeezy. Hello.
Hello.
I'm a Ghostbuster walking here.
Hey, I'm walking here. Um, I don't think we're.
Are you gonna say gabagool? Because
Gabagool.
I think only Nick is the only one here who could legitimately say that.
True.
That's right. We're playing Ghostbusters: Spirits Unleashed. I don't think we're going to be very afraid after our phasmophobia training, though, boys. What do you think? This doesn't. Given the music that's playing, it does not seem to take on that.
Considering
fear
this game
vibe.
is a lighthearted casual romp, I think we'll be fine.
Yeah. So what are we doing? How do we play? How do we bust those ghosts?
We
We make
make
faces,
faces at each other. We pick a job, and then I select a job, and yeah. Which map do you want to do, Jason?
Let's do the prison.
I mean, there's only 5, so we don't have to worry too much.
Correct. Let's do the prison. Yeah.
Phone's ringing. Ghosts are calling.
Really are the most devious bastard in New York City.
Sure am.
Oh my goodness, I still can't get over Mike's guy. It's so good, dude.
Thank you. I tried my best. If only he could have a British voice.
I
Instead, I gave him the most New York sounding voice.
I think the reason I didn't make Nandor was because the hair. They didn't have like long straight hair.
Yeah.
It was all pretty poofy, which is okay.
But then you'd have to be talking like this all the time, and that might get old.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
I opted for the Irish mullet, so
Yeah, but you also made you.
yeah.
I know you don't have the mullet IRL.
but you
but-
could.
So this is a 1v4 game made by the folks at Ilphonic. Hey, the ghosts over here. Is spooking already.
Ow. Dude, chill.
However, you can play it without a 5th person.
Get
which
in the
case
trap!
AI controls the ghost, or like if you don't have 4 people to play with, it'll fill in whatever whatever spots need be for Ghostbusters and such. It's pretty much just, hey, if you're a Ghostbuster, bust the ghost. If you're the ghost, then you want to haunt this building as much as possible.
See the ghost.
Hey, get back here.
Packed on cooldown. Stay cool. Annoying. Work.
Whoever's trap that is needs to open it.
Go across the streams.
Trying to move him over to that trap. There we go. So when the ghost goes around, it can scare civilians. It can haunt objects, which increases that building haunt level up in the top there. If the building haunt reaches 100%, then the ghost has to survive for, I think it's like 60 seconds or 90 seconds.
It's not too long.
Yeah. In order to completely win, the Ghostbusters just have to get the ghost, and it's down here in the basement.
In the shower room with Nick Cage.
Shower room. Now he went upstairs to the first floor.
Oh no, it terrified somebody.
Someone's sad
I
now.
see it.
For anyone else to lead, literally.
Come on.
How do
There you are.
How do you call out locations?
E.
Hi, ways that actually work.
As the Ghostbusters, you can calm civilians down, or attempt to keep them from fleeing, because then obviously if they flee, that increases the haunt level.
Yep.
You can.
It's on me.
Wrong because the presence be felt by the living.
Get out of here.
The ghost itself, so every time you trap it, it uses up a rift in the top right, or you can find those rifts just, going around using your PKE meter.
Somebody blew you.
You're
I like
a
the
goopy
goo.
boy.
Yes, I blew myself.
Once those rifts get used up, then you finally trap the ghost. And that 60 seconds or whatever that the ghost has to survive, it doesn't have any ghosts. It doesn't have any rifts, so it's just like stay away and try and live. It has good, has good mouthfeel for a Ghostbusters game. The things do that you want them to do. You throw out the trap and you use your proton pack and particle emitter thing to.
Here, I'll say it. It is unfair to have played this game immediately after Phasmophobia.
There's that too, yeah.
It is unfair.
It is, but it does what it needs to do, and I think it does it well. It's not like there's no part of it that is like this is bad. It's just a lot of what this got me thinking about is what is a Ghostbusters game in the modern age, right? There's so much nostalgia and everything else tied to the franchise. Greg Miller from Kind of Funny is a voice in this game because he loves Ghostbusters so much, right? So it's like there is this huge kind of gathering around it. But if you make a Ghostbusters game, what is it that you really want to do, right? Basically, one of the simple things that they have here is you just throw out,
Sigourney Weaver. That's what I want to do.
float above the bed. You take a job, you go and you bust ghosts, right? You cause some property damage, then you come home, right? And then you can go downstairs to the basement, and you can do a little animation to empty your trap.
I would like more, there's only a few ghost types, right? And
Yeah.
I think what I would really like is, without me dipping into the PvP portion of the game, I would like to actually know something about the ghosts. Because this is a 4v1 game, but it's only a 4-player game, right?
No, it's 4v1. You can have 5 people total.
Oh, okay. Because I guess you could lock out the 5th if you want, which is what we're doing.
Yeah. So you can have friend lobbies, which is what we currently have, or you can go quick play, which just match makes you. So yeah, if you're 1 or 2 or 3 people that just don't mind playing with groups of other people, the one thing is if you do the quick play, that means that someone is going to be the ghost, right? So
Yeah.
if you want specifically a co-op experience, that means you get some buddies together. And again, as I mentioned before, it fills in AI. So if there's only 2 of you, 3 of you, the remaining Ghostbusters will be AI.
Yeah.
And the ghost will be controlled by AI as well. So it has that thing. But you were saying without dipping into the PvP.
Well, without dipping into because there's an additional area you can go to start. I want to be the ghost and play it. All of those ghosts have names and stats and abilities, and you don't know any of that if you only ever play as a Ghostbuster. You'll be like, oh, this is the guy. This is the purple guy in the chair, or this is the the red guy with 4 arms, and I kind of know they do certain things, but if you go into the PvP area and look at them, they're like, oh, this one has like an easier time escaping from traps. So if you want to effectively play, the Ghostbusters would be like, oh, I see, it's this guy. Let me go back to the cart and swap my loadout to be better. But you're not given any kind of in-game like, oh, it's a creeper, or oh, it's a floater, or whatever you want to call these things.
Right.
So it just seems like it's missing a lot of the lore that you would expect from having fucking Dan Aykroyd sitting right here.
Well, I mean, so that's the interesting part, right? Like, Ghostbusters, the movies, is they just go to a job and they bumble their way through capturing the ghost, right? Like, there's no, like, the only research part that they do is like the big bad, right? So like the rest of it is just them doing random jobs, which this has that feel to. But it does, you're right, it like misses that part of, well, where's the research part of this? Where's the, I don't know, and like it doesn't have to do phasmophobia, but there is that little bit of like, man, it would be cool if there was a little bit of like, we come in here and we're like trying to figure out what's going on, and you know, it wasn't just quite so up in your face and here's the ghost, let's just go get it. You know, glued to your PKE meter kind of thing. But which I understand for why it's that way, right? They want these quick 4v1 matches. Ghost is this way. FYI.
Sit dining room.
Well, coming upstairs.
There is a. Oh, here it is. Rift.
Help is on the way.
This is the part that I hate. It gets caught on the, like, it will be things like that where it gets caught on the environment, and then so you can't quite get it into your trap because it's like stuck in a globe.
Yeah.
And you're trying to like pull it.
Alright, I'm blowing out this rift up here.
Okay. I'm gonna come help. So yeah, so it is just kind of one of those things of like, yeah, like you said at the start, it's unfair to play this after Phasmophobia that has all these kind of like more mechanics going on with what that is. I understand, you know, why this is that way, and I don't think it should be Phasmophobia. There are some things that where it's like, yeah, it would be nice if it did have a little bit more to it from a, hey, let's investigate the fact that this is a banshee. Let's investigate the fact that this is a poltergeist or something like that, and what that means as far as how we, you know, what tools we need or how we combat it or something like that. Oh, in here.
Got eyes on. Trapping coming. Better late than never, right?
And yeah, if it wasn't for these quick matches, like I think having bigger maps, like, you know, having these things are relatively small. Like once you kind of start going through them, there's not necessarily a ton of tricks or anything like that. Like the ghost has a couple things where it can sort of like warp a little bit through the level. But yeah, it is kind of like what you see is what you get for some of these things. Like you get to know the map pretty quick, and then you're just like, okay.
Yep. I would also, I've said it to all of you in our private chats, but I feel like this game feels straight out of the like Xbox Live Arcade era, where there's like all those simple, quick play multiplayer games. Like it feels a lot like that to me, and that's not to like belittle the game or anything. It's just like, this is a small game that does like one thing, and it does it pretty well. But if you want more from it, it's hard to.
Yeah, don't expect that.
But you know, for what it is, I actually I like it. I wish it was there was a little more to it.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing where I'm like, man, like hate to say it, but like $15 on sale. Like you're like got
Let's
some
go.
buddies who just
Let's
like,
go.
hey, let's let's do something fun and silly for a weekend, or
Yeah.
perfect for that. Like it absolutely, I think, hits that 100%. And it's not that I think it's only 30 or something priced regularly.
It's $40. It's like, it is a budget game by today's definition of budget pricing.
Sure, but I mean it's also like I trying to figure out what this is.
Who can say?
My strength. Okay. It is just the kind of thing where it's just like, it's like, I haven't seen anything as far as like a roadmap, or like there doesn't seem to be any of that sort of service games type stuff. Like they do have like daily quests, weekly things that you can take on for just experience and cosmetic items. There are some things that you can unlock later on, like additional things to
Uh-oh, who
outfit.
picked the ghost?
Oh, me, I guess.
Oh, all right.
Show them how we do things downtown.
I'm like, who's this bot we've got?
Think this has any value?
Us versus lock. So one of the things though is that you can like, as you use your gear, you level it up, and that unlocks new options for
Think this has
No!
any value?
new for your stuff, and like, hey, you slimed me. So it'll do things like, hey, it makes your tethers stronger, it makes your trap have a like wider angle, but it like uses more battery or something like that. So there's a few different things like that you can do and customize your gear. And so some of what you can unlock eventually is that gear customization. But nothing like super deep, super like, oh, I should
Over here somewhere.
X, Y, and Z.
Up top.
I'm a shark!
Help is on the way.
Nice work. But don't forget about the rifts. That's where the ghost
You never die. You're down by getting slimed. So
Yep.
like, the ghosts, players aren't really out. They're just temporarily incapacitated.
Cover me while
And I do mean pretty temporarily. Like it's a pretty quick thing to overcome. So it is weird because the ghost kind of feels like at a disadvantage unless it's like a smart player. I think would do fine, and Locke I think is doing pretty well so far. But like against the AI is pretty brute force, and it's just like, I'm gonna go hunt, and if I see you, I'm gonna do a thing.
Alright.
Eat my...
Here's your rift.
Go, it's
Rift.
long babies.
Mostly to my
Rift.
No, my riff.
Cool my proton pack down. And minion destroyed.
I feel like the way this should kind of play out is like, you play a couple rounds, you capture a couple different ghosts instead of the same one 3 times, and then you've got like a big boss sort of a thing phase.
Yeah, and that's quite honestly, when I was playing through, there's a very light story. When I was playing this and it was going through the story, I thought that's what it was building up to. I was like, oh, okay, so there's gonna be some sort of like big boss ghost that we have to do. No, it was just do more of the same, and yeah.
A few more seconds and this rift is done for.
Destroy the final rift and
All
let
right.
it count.
Come back.
Ouch. Well, they're not coming back. Check this out. Go! I'm deploying the trap. Incoming.
Trap him.
No, you will not.
Get after it. Proton pack is burning up.
Focus the streams.
Hold on much longer. I'm about to overheat. Ghosts surround us every day. It's just that most aren't strong enough for their presence to be felt by the living.
Right? Me too.
Where'd he go?
Nothing to see here.
Nowhere to hide. Look, over there.
So many.
Come here, you.
Get in the
Into the truck with
box!
The trick with ghosts is to never let them know you exist. And by that,
Oh, I saw the rift go. He's upstairs.
Probably not.
Ow.
Go, go.
Yeah.
Lock Vincent.
We did
You were
it.
Busted
You
by
got busted by
origami.
the origami pan.
Hot trap.
Yeah.
Hot trap.
I do like that it prints your, screen name onto your outfit, but obviously it's limited, so
Origami pan.
I'm now the origami pan.
I like it.
I mean, you gotta cook origami somewhere.
Why
Cousins
not?
to Pan from Revenant.